All right, so this is everything that comes in the basic GoPro Hero 11 kit. You have the camera itself right here. We get a charging cable. We get a basic mount. So if you don't have any other mounts already, you are going to want to, kind of get some things that this can mount onto, etc. And it does come with a sticky mount that you can stick somewhere. Now, this is actually made specifically for a helmet because, as you can see, it does have a slight curve to it. Now, yes, if you are going to see here, we do have some cushion, which means you can put this on some flat surfaces. You're just going to have to push in these sides, but it is curved, so it's made specifically for a helmet. And it does come with a battery, which I have already put in here. Now, I actually really like how this battery door opens. It opens up to the side, and when you do open the battery door, you can leave the camera still on when you open up that battery door. The first thing I would recommend is you are going to want to put the settings into pro mode, because you might have read some other reviews. This thing gets really, really hot. All right. So I went ahead and I put it instead of at 4K or 5K, put it at 2.7K. Just because, I might even lower it down to 1080p, because all of my videos are getting posted online through various social media channels, which means like 1080p, 2.7K, they're going to be good enough for my needs as far as the video quality goes. But the picture quality, even at 1080p on this thing, is going to be really, really nice. So we're going to test out the Hyper Smooth. I put it on the Auto Boost, which is the highest version of Hyper Smooth. And I got this bad boy right here that we're going to mount it on the back. So we're going to check that out. And then I'm going to show you guys just some video with me just talking to the camera so that you can see kind of what the picture quality looks like. I'm going to let you know the settings so that you know what the picture quality looks like and what the audio looks like with this thing, so that you're not just seeing a picture of the camera that I'm using to record now. All right, so I am recording at 2.7K, 60 frames per second. This is all on the GoPro Hero 11 Black right now. And I believe I have it on ultra wide, so you're gonna be seeing a lot of background behind me. So you can have this on different settings by changing that up. I like to do it on ultra wide, especially when I have it on the super auto boost, because that's gonna be cropping out a lot of the extra picture to make your picture look a lot more smooth. This camera does get very hot. I've already discovered that within this short time frame that I've owned it, so that is something to take note of. Where I'm at right now, the hottest it got out today was 110, and this was not in the water. So I would anticipate, if I was going to be recording for a lot longer, that my camera might overheat, or if I was recording at 4K, which is why you go ahead and lower that video quality down. I have it at 2.7K, so it's going to be able to not overheat as quickly. So let's switch this up, and now we're going to test out the Hyper Smooth. Let's see how that one went. We're probably gonna check that out in a minute. All right, so overall, I would say I'm super pleased with this so far. I actually just went and watched back that Hyper Smooth footage with my RC truck, and I gotta be honest with you, that Hyper Smooth footage is insane. If you saw how much that truck was bouncing. So you might be asking, why did I get the GoPro Hero 11? Obviously, everyone's gonna have their different reasons. My style of shooting is very much a run and gun. I don't really write scripts. I don't really do anything. And I do a lot of stuff where, you know, just having a camera that I can turn on, and that's what a GoPro is for. But the Hyper Smooth was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to get this, because I love playing with RC cars and I love flying drones. And that Hyper Smooth is basically exactly what you need for that. The other reasons where I wanted something where I had a front facing screen, and that way I can still use the good camera like the good camera, whereas on a cell phone, the good camera's on the back. But if you're using the camera on the back, you don't see yourself, so you can't really frame the shot very well. So that's what I wanted, was the front facing camera. And then the third final reason was for the wide angle lens. I do have another camera that I use inside on my desk, but that does not have a wide angle lens. So those are the three main reasons why I wanted this, and that Hyper Smooth was insane. So even this is being shot on a GoPro. It's starting to get dark out, so you can kind of see what that is. The only settings I changed was to 2.7K 60 frames per second. I put it on Super View, and then I put on the Hyper Smooth as well. So outside of those settings, everything else was defaulted to what the camera had already. You are probably going to need two things. You're going to need an SD card. You can get a ton of those. You can get those from anywhere. And you're also probably going to need a smartphone, because that's how you're going to send updates or download the footage. That's not a necessity, but in this day and age, I don't know too many people who don't have a smartphone. So an SD card and a smartphone. And then obviously, you know, a plethora of different mounts that you can kind of buy ad hoc, or you know, or even get this with a bundle. But so far I'm super happy with this. I do know that a lot of people say this thing overheats, but I'm going to be mitigating that by lowering the video quality. I'm not shooting in 4K. I don't see a reason to shoot in 4K for what I'm doing personally. And I might even put it down to 1080p. And then also, you know, as far as overheating goes, outside of lowering the video quality from 4K to 1080p or 2.7K, you know, don't be leaving your camera on too long. As far as like flying drones, I don't really see that as a problem, as there's going to be a lot of wind and air kind of cooling it off, as well as, you know, driving RC cars. Outside of that, I mean, you know, if you're swimming, that's not really an issue either. So that is something to think about, is that this thing does get hot, and I can confirm with how long I've had it. But I definitely love it so far, but it's going to be up to you. The other thing that you're probably going to need is can your computer, if you are going to be shooting in 4K, can your computer that you're editing with handle editing in 4K? So that's the other reason why you might want to shoot in a lower video quality if it can't handle that. So there you guys go. That's why I got the GoPro Hero 11 Black, and check it out if you like it. I don't know. I can't tell you what to do.